If you find yourself needing a new chuck and not really having a lot of money to put on one, these CME import chucks start looking very tempting. So we kind of pulled the trigger. We got a 4-jaw. We didn't have one in the shop, and we were only going to use it for square parts. So we figured we're not going to use it that much, so might as well get one. We'll check it out, do a review on it. If you go back in the videos, we did a first video that shows the insides and basically the whole construction of it, and you can see how much of a trouble we had just even mounting it on the lathe. We went through a lot of work trying to remachine this back plate. So we've had this hooked up, been using it for a couple of weeks, and I figured, hey, might as well do a part 2 since we've been using it for a little bit, and kind of give a report and see what we're going to do to this to try to tweak it in a little bit. So we have noticed that the chuck was actually getting tighter and tighter, and we weren't sure why. Thought maybe it was dirty, so we decided to pull it all apart to clean it. It did stay relatively clean. That wasn't the problem. We discovered the problem was the carriers are digging into the body of the chuck. In some spots, it's getting ugly. Like, it's so bad that it was bulging out the chuck. You can kind of see where we stoned it to flatten it back out. This casting is got to be one of the softest castings I think I've ever worked with. It is very, very soft. And as you can see, it doesn't take much to dent it. I don't really think that this chuck is going to last very long, unfortunately, especially when you start looking at that. We did buy it just to hold 4-sided material, which is what we're just going to use it for. So after we try to tweak this in, we'll probably pop it off and put our regular 3-jaw on for production use or just for everyday use in the shop. I can't say we were very much impressed with the concentricity of this. I mean, we're getting anywhere from 3 to 5 thousandths run out, and we decided, you know what, I want to grind these jaws, at least the inside, because that's where the majority of the work is being held. So we took these all out. We're going to keep them bolted together, and we're going to grind these in the surface grinder. I'll show you how to do it. Let's go check it out. Here we are over at the surface grinder. I have the wheel mounted and dressed. I have a magnetic sign plate, and on top of that I have my magnetic squaring block. And I also put a couple widgets on here to act as a squaring rail that fits inside my notch here. Speaking of this notch, this is relative to the body of the chuck, so we want to keep things square with this part on the carrier. Now the reason why I have a sign plate is, you can see I have some shim stock here, which is 3 thousandths. That's going to give us 1 thousandths tipped up this way, so I'll be grinding like 1 thousandths more off of this side than this side. And the reason is all chucks have some kind of clearance in here, and when you tighten it up, it wants to splay out, and then you wind up just grabbing down here at the bottom, and your piece gets all floppy, and you're not holding it very well. So when we set this up here, we put some inherent press on the front, so we're always going to be grabbing here first, which helps greatly when you're working on the lathe, and especially holding small parts and stuff. So what we're going to do is actually set these up first, and we're going to grind these flat. We're just going to touch them and clean them up, so then we can put them back in the lathe, do our indicating, and see how far we got to go. Normally with our other chucks and 3-jaw chucks, we would grind a 3/4 inch radius on the wheel. So then we would be grinding in here an 1.5 inch diameter nominal radius. But with this being the 4-jaw chuck, we're only going to be holding flat parts. There really is no reason we need to have a radial grind in there. So we're just going to make it easy. We're going to grind it flat, and we'll see how it comes out. I just wanted to show this quick and highlight the reason why I grind these jaws on an angle. So here's a nice straight leader pin, and I added some high spot blue on one of the jaws. So if I just clamp it slightly with my hand, you can see it hits hard at the end first. But if I clamp it and then snug it up like I was holding a piece, you can see it's now hitting evenly all the way down. So that's the inherent flex that you get in a chuck, and grinding it on an angle really helps you hold smaller pieces in the front and just generally grab a hold of your part better. Now we're set up to indicate, so I'm going to take opposing jaws and we'll measure that. So we'll see which one is the low point. So that's the lower side. Set it. Turn it over. We have about 8/10. That's not bad. So this pin's up, so the actual jaw I need to grind is this one, but you only need to grind half of it because it'll pull it back into center. Now let's do the other one. Which one's lower? Alright, this one's lower. So we'll call that 0. Then we'll move over. And that is 0. Wow. I did not expect that to happen. I guess that's what happens when you clean grind it. Alright, so looks like we only have one jaw to grind. I'll take that out, get it back on the grinder. So let's get this in. Now we ground that jaw that we needed to. Let's see how we did. So, all right. Wow, really? Wait a minute, is there something wrong with this thing? Nope, indicator's fine. Wow, I didn't think it was going to be that good. Nice. So look at that. So now that it's running perfectly, hopefully it lasts for a while. All right, so let's get this in. Now we ground that jaw that we needed to. Let's see how we did. So, all right. Wow, really? Wait a minute, is there something wrong with this thing? Nope, indicator's fine. Wow, I didn't think it was going to be that good. Nice. So look at that. So now that it's running perfectly, hopefully it lasts for a while. So there you go. That pretty much sums up the CME Chuck review. Just let me know in the comments what you think. If there's something else you want me to do, I'd be more than happy to do it. Give me a thumbs up, please. Much appreciated.